Hello wrestling fans, the Wrestling Wizard here, and welcome to another video. So of course from this week's episode of Monday Night Raw, we got another Bo Dallas, aka Uncle Howdy, VHS-style promo. And to be fair, this delivered. Yes, it was short, but it was effective because there's so much intrigue around this, so many questions. Are we going to see Alexa Bliss brought into the fold with the Wyatt Sicks? We're going to see a new member of the Wyatt Sicks? Are there any connections to The Fiend? There are so many questions when it comes to these latest developments with Bo Dallas, aka Uncle Howdy. And with the Nightbird being a very key sort of clue in all of this, we haven't really completed the circle. We're still following this circle. After all, they're all servants following Uncle Howdy. As Bray Wyatt said many moons ago, I am just a servant now. I go where the circle takes me. And Bo Dallas opened with that. Everything is coming full circle. It's what he said in his opening lines. And I thought it was really interesting that he was holding the heel side of his head at the start. And then that all changed at the end. And we'll come on to that in a moment. It's been heavy lately. A lot of emotions, especially last week in Baltimore. That's where it all started, of course, referring to the fact that the Wyatt family originally debuted on the main roster, of course, on Raw, all the way back in 2013 on June the 17th. And of course, fast forward many years ahead, the Wyatt Sicks had their debut, where it all began on June the 17th, 2024. Really, really emotional with Bo, of course, saying he was there, feeling his presence, feeling that Bray Wyatt was there spiritually. Then he went on to say, something's happening, man. Something big. Now, something's already happening. The Wyatt Sicks are already a massive hit. They are absolutely smashing it out the park. And it's safe to say that Bo is doing his brother proud. His brother would be extremely proud of what he's brought together so far. Then he went on to say, but the work... Wow, Uncle Howdy kind of went on to say, but the work isn't done. And it flashed up with what seemed to be on the Nightbird trail in the lead up to the debut of the Wyatt Sicks. The similar images we saw from what looked like some form of Wyatt compound. But it also came up with the words, freedom from the pit. Now, there are a lot of references in the lead up to the debut of the Wyatt Sicks in regards to caves and these current members before the debut of the Wyatt Sicks being sort of stranded in this cave and sort of rescued from this cave. But now it seems freedom from the pit. All the pain and hurt and suffering they've had in the past is no longer because they're now one cohesive family known as the Wyatt Sicks. They can't be hurt anymore because they're following the puppet master, the ringleader in Uncle Howdy. They'll always be safe because Uncle Howdy loves his family and will look out for each and every one of them. And then it really ramped up with other doors shall be open. The work must continue. Other doors shall be open was then repeated. And again, I thought it was really interesting because, of course, it flashed up with the Nightbird logo again. The pyramids, which, of course, we've seen in previous Bray Wyatt promos. And also that eye. That eye was very telling in the lead up to Bray Wyatt and his promos in 2023, which surely was going to involve Alexa Bliss. And we'll come on to her in a moment. And then, of course, it really started to get juicy with Bo Dallas, aka Uncle Howdy, saying the words, my life for you. He'd repeat that. It started to build intensity. And as it built intensity, there was this eerie silence and the creepy, there you are. Which I believe is always the moment where Bo Dallas fully embraces Uncle Howdy. The more intense he gets, the more he embraces Uncle Howdy and embraces the spirit of his brother as well. Because if you look at the character Uncle Howdy, the character at this current day, he is a combination of all Bray Wyatt's previous gimmicks. So he's fully embracing his brother's spirit and, of course, Uncle Howdy. And Uncle Howdy was a massive part of Bray Wyatt's psyche. So a massive part of Bray is within Bo Dallas when he is embracing Uncle Howdy. I love the little details with him rocking on the chair as well. Of course, hats off to Bray Wyatt and his rocking chair. And I can't help but feel the line, my life for you, is potentially a hats off to the Stephen King film, The Stand. There was a character called the Trash Can Man. Say that after a few beers, by the way. And he was some form of schizophrenic arsonist. And when you think of Bo Dallas and the character he's portraying, he has a lot of mental demons. He has a lot of mental scars. There's a lot of emotion attached to Bo Dallas, a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, a lot of suffering. He misses his brother deeply. He's driven by the pain and loss of his brother, and he wants to make him proud. We, of course, know Bray Wyatt took a lot of inspiration from Stephen King and also the Dexter series as well, because the line, "revel in what you are," was actually a line taken as inspiration from the Dexter TV series. But I actually thought the end of the promo was really, really telling. Now, yes, of course, we got the zoom in on the Bludgeon Brothers mask, which, of course, Luke Harper used to wear. We know that Ramblin' Rabbit, a.k.a. Eric Rowan, pays tribute to Brody Lee with that Bludgeon Brothers mask on the back of his Ramblin' Rabbit mask. But I don't think it means anything more than just a tribute to Brody, to Luke Harper. But if you go all the way back to the start of the Bo Dallas promo, he had the left hand on the left side of his head, the heel side, right? And at the end, you could see this image of Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas fully embracing his darkest alter ego in Howdy, and the spirit of Bray also as well, holding the right side of his head with, of course, the right hand, the hurt glove, which of course contains Bray's name, which is absolutely heartbreaking when you think about it on an emotional level. But where are they going with this? Are they teasing an angle that could make reference to The Fiend? And when you think about The Fiend, you think about Alexa Bliss. Now, I know a lot of people aren't happy about this. Whenever I bring up the possibility of Alexa Bliss being brought into the fold here, it's met with resistance. I think a lot of fans feel that this faction should just embrace people that fit the mold of 2024 when it comes to Uncle Howdy, almost like misfits being part of a group. And you could argue, yes, Alexa Bliss doesn't fit that criteria. So I totally get your argument. I really do. I really, really do. But when you go back to 2023 and the lead up to WrestleMania, surely there was a huge angle planned for Alexa Bliss and Bray Wyatt, specifically The Fiend. What that was going to be, we will never know. But you cannot rule Alexa Bliss out in all of this. And I think many people overcomplicate things. Look at WrestleMania 37. Now, granted, it was more of a Vince McMahon booking decision, but let's look at it clear as day. Alexa Bliss cost The Fiend on the grandest stage of them all at WrestleMania. But why did she cost The Fiend? It was because she thought she was the one in control. She thought she had the power. She learnt from the master, but then she thought she was the one fully in control. Now, if you go all the way back to Extreme Rules 2022, the first time we saw Uncle Howdy pop up on the screen, he said the words, "Who killed the world? You did, madam. We did," blaming Bray and Alexa for killing the world, i.e. the Firefly Funhouse and everything that came along with that. But of course, Bray Wyatt started to embrace Uncle Howdy. Alexa Bliss was getting targeted by Uncle Howdy. He wanted answers for WrestleMania 37, and he wanted to prove that he was the one in control. Now, the very last time I believe we saw Alexa Bliss was actually in the Firefly Funhouse, although we only saw her hands. And I'm pretty convinced that is Alexa Bliss. Now, of course, the last time we saw Alexa Bliss on WWE TV was at the Royal Rumble when she lost against Bianca Belair, and Uncle Howdy questioned her control. What if since then Alexa Bliss has accepted the fact that she's not the one in control, she's just a servant to Uncle Howdy, just like Bray Wyatt said, "I'm just a servant now, I go where the circle takes me," and Alexa is happy to take up that role. Or potentially she embraces The Fiend. I know it's far-fetched, I know it's completely out there, but we can't rule it off because she had such a connection with The Fiend. And Bray Wyatt himself even said Bray Wyatt and Alexa Bliss will always be connected in some way. So yes, I believe this angle that's coming up is going to involve Alexa Bliss. And when you think about it, Bad Blood is about, 7 weeks away? It's perfect timing-wise to build up to the return of Alexa Bliss and involve her with this Wyatt Sicks faction. Just imagine the pop at Bad Blood with Alexa Bliss coming out from that door and Uncle Howdy revealing his new Wyatt Sicks member. I think it can happen, I really do. I know many people are critical, but I'd like to see it. I'd like to see where they go. What do you think? Get down in the comments section, share your thoughts and opinions, and as always, it'd be very much appreciated if you could like the video, share the video, and even better, subscribe if you're new, and we'll catch you in the next one.